The shareholders are ravenous. They eat and eat until all has been consumed, and when they're done, they demand more. They subsist on the biomass of lesser beings. They combine the husks of different creatures until it's all one incomprehensible agglomeration of meat, and then they feast. Hello and welcome to episode 5 of the GTNH Steam Age miniseries. Between episodes, I looked more closely at the Extractinator and decided to go a different route. Let me explain. To even do the Extractinating quest, I need Superheated, which needs Forge of the Gods, which needs the unmatched power of the sun, which is the solar boiler. Obviously, it's not really feasible to actually make the entire multi-block, so I am just going to make the controller for now and come back to this. And as for Extractinating itself, that's going to have to wait quite a while actually, because I went through all of the different blocks that go into the multi-block and I broke it down into basic components just to look at how much steel I need and add up all of these numbers. That's how much steel I need. That is a lot of steel. It's like nearly 100 stacks of steel. And currently, with my steam generation and the open hearth blast furnace, it takes me about 80 seconds to do one steel. It says 360 here, but you can see that it's actually going up faster than 1 second per second. So it ends up being about 80 seconds per steel. And that's like over 100 hours to get all the steel. That is not acceptable. I would just have to be sitting here AFK for 100 hours, also gathering more iron and charcoal, and that's not fun. I'm not doing that. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade these two boilers to high pressure. That should increase my steam output by a factor of 4, and that would still make this 30 hours of waiting, which is still not really something I'm willing to do. What I'm going to do instead is work on making the hyperpressure reactor. Well, obviously first I'm going to do the mega pressure solar boiler controller block and put it away for later. And then I'm going to do the hyperpressure reactor. And this one I'm actually going to construct the entire thing. I haven't looked at what goes into these blocks, but I noticed that beryllium is something, so I need to go to the nether and find a beryllium vein. But I think I may be close to one, because I found quite a few small ores, so I'll go investigate that. Once those two are done, I can make superheated steam, and in fact I can also make supercritical steam if I wanted. And I'm not sure whether or not I do yet, but I think I do. I don't know, we'll see. But that means I can checkmark this quest off, superheated, and that will open up the final chapter, supercritical. And luckily, I will be able to power the high pressure reactor if I upgrade these two to high pressure boilers. And then once I have some superheated steam, unless I'm doing something wrong with my calculation here, this should bring it down to 3 hours to make 100 stacks of steel. And that I can live with. Not only that, while that's happening, I'm going to work on some of these other quests. For example, the Pipeless steam hatch and steam vent seem quite nice to me. It's basically, I mean, like it says, it's pipeless steam, so I don't need pipes anymore. And also the Cactus Wonder. Cactus Wonder seems very, very strong. It uses cactus charcoal or cactus coke to make different amounts of steam. I'm not sure exactly how this works in terms of input versus output, because there are these different offer values. I don't know. And this is not too crazy to build. It's mostly bronze. So that is my plan for today, to unlock the supercritical chapter and to make the Cactus Wonder. If I can do those things and I can get enough steel, then I'm also going to set up extractinating so I can finish off the solar boiler. Though I'm kind of wondering if there's a point to doing that because the Cactus Wonder seems stronger than the solar boiler. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to get to work now. And now I can make superheated steam. Before we can go on to the final chapter though, I do need to do the mass production quest. And before continuing, I want to also do the Cactus Wonder and Pipeless quests. So let's bang those out. Alright, mass production. Steam manufacturer. Assembles assemblies assemblically. This is another big batch of steel that I need. So quite a bit more waiting. Unless I remember to set up my hyperpressure reactor. Almost forgot. Let's do that right now. Where should I put this? Honestly, right here. Because I need access to the creosote. So I might actually remove the creosote boiler because I need the creosote for this. All right, let's set this up. I don't have storage, so it's only going to be filling this output hatch, which has a 128 bucket capacity, I want to say. But this is just to see if it works. So I have creosote being piped in to the input hatch. I have steam being piped into an input hatch and also to the steam hatch, which is the energy hatch. And this should make superheated steam. Let's see. Yes, very good. And it's full. I think my steel smelting capabilities have vastly improved. Now I need to get the steam to the steel smelters. This is going to be such a spaghetti mess. I love it. The spaghetti has spaghettified. This is what we call spaghettification in physics. And while it's disappointing to see me participate in spaghetti behavior, you will be pleased to know that it won't be for too long. Because pretty soon we get pipeless hatches and vents, and then I can remove all the pipes, basically. But I really want to see how fast this makes steel now. Okay, that's pretty good. That is pretty good. Okay, I've started to break down the steam manufacturer into basic components, and this is going to just be a lot of bronze, iron, and steel. Nothing new, nothing exotic, just a lot of stuff, because I need 110 motors, because I need 36 hydraulic arms. This is kind of like making an assembly line, is what it feels like, but I don't think it's going to take that long, because the rate I'm producing steel now is so much higher that I kind of just need to go mining constantly to keep up with this. So, good. No AFK time. Full efficiency. Alright, we got the pipeless steam hatch and vent. This is the steam equivalent of the wireless energy hatch and dynamo hatch. Which I've used before in the Stargate playthrough, the training manual. I guess you haven't seen that yet because that hasn't happened yet at this moment. But yeah, I use them. I know how they work. Let me show you. If I replace the, where is it? This one, the Strons reinforced output hatch on my fusion reactor. Sorry, my hyper pressure reactor. And I replace it with a pipeless steam vent. This should start storing things in my pipeless steam network. I will say though that I don't have the creosote supply to keep up with this, so I do need to build another infernal coke oven or something. But that's a separate issue. So this will start storing stuff in my network, or does it? No, wait, sorry. It stores it in the internal capacity of the steam vent, and then I believe I can access it using a steam hatch, a pipeless steam hatch. So let's try that. This works exactly how it did for the electric versions. Yes, I remember how they work. I think if I replace this, for example, with a pipeless steam hatch, and I choose my type of steam, in this case superheated steam, indeed, it just pulls the superheated steam. So now I can run this, and it pulls straight from the input hatch on the other side, or the whatever steam vent on the other side. And the total steam storage capacity in the network is 2 to the 2 to the 31, which is a very, 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 very large number. But it's closer to 0 than infinity. Anyway, next up, I want to make the cactus wonder, which also means I'm going to have to automate cactus, or rather cactus charcoal or cactus coke. And specifically, I want to do the compressed versions so I can start generating supercritical steam. And once I have that, I'll have 2 different steam networks, one for superheated and one for supercritical. And I don't have one for regular steam, but that would probably be nice to have as well. And after that, I'm going to set up the extractinator because I am very sick of going mining for copper and iron. So after I set up an extractination setup that goes from nothing to resources, I'm going to do the full line. After that, we can start working on the final chapter, supercritical. We are running out of time and we need to do this fast. Still working on the Cactus Wonder, but I updated my mod pack. I could have done this a few days ago, but I just put it off because I'm lazy. But I finally got around to doing it, and there's this one new quest, which is very nice. Gifts of Steam, and it shows you a bunch of really, really nice items that are normally very hard to get, but there are kind of new recipes here. Specifically the healing axe. This would be very nice. And I can make this pretty soon with exquisite diamonds. I think I could go mining for diamonds right now, like small ores, and hope to get a couple of exquisite diamonds to get this done, or I could just wait for extractination. The angel ring would also be very nice. I think this is creative flight, right? Pretty sure it is. This is a very easy recipe. Compressed steam is not that far away. Item dislocator. This is a new recipe up here. Also pretty easy. I could probably do this now, and I think I will. Builder's wand with some strawns. Just thought I'd mention that while I wait for the Cactus Wonder materials to craft. Thank you for watching this episode of the GTNH Steam Age miniseries. In the next episode, we will automate the Cactus Wonder to have enormous quantities of supercritical steam. And then, we will set up extractination to make mining a thing of the past. After that, it's time for some truly gargantuan multis. See you next time.